Today I have a great opportunity to review yet another soon-to-be-released projector from BenQ. And I'm super excited about this one because this is where budget and features of lamp and laser projectors meet smack dab in the middle. It's the BenQ AH30ST LED projector, and we're gonna dive right in, starting with the unboxing. I'm gonna get it set up, look at all those features. We'll use it for several days, show off some of the footage, and help you decide if this projector is right for you. So without further ado, the AH30ST. Here it is, compact size, extremely lightweight. Control panel right on the top of the projector. In the back you'll find an audio out, 2 HDMI ports, an RS-232, a slot for your dongle, as well as a 1.5 amp USB power supply for your dongle. A couple of fan vents on each side, but what's different about LED projectors is they are so quiet. Quieter than laser, quieter than lamps, and you still get that compact size. 3 adjustable feet on the bottom, 3 mounting points, and a center of gravity marker right in the middle. Comes with a power cable, a compact remote. I love when a brand provides me with batteries. Customer support QR code sticker. Put that right on the back of the remote. A quick start guide, and BenQ always provides you with a link to videos to help you get set up. But other than that, I love how simple they make it for you. This is all there is to it. And BenQ also has a golf simulator 3D planner to help you decide exactly where to place your projector. Let's get this mounted. So I like to dry fit my projectors before I actually mount them, just to make sure the picture will be acceptable from a certain distance. You can use BenQ's 3D planner on their website to take into account all the dimensions of your room, the height of the ceilings, the height of the golfers, which launch monitor you're using to keep it out of your way, and tell you exactly where to mount your projector. But I found with the 0.69 to 0.83 throw ratio and 1.2 times zoom ratio, not to mention the digital shrink and shift, I essentially have the option to mount this at about 9 feet all the way back to almost 14 feet. So thankfully I was able to keep the mounting point I was already using, which is slightly offset to my screen, so we'll see just how well it can focus. But because this is designed for golf simulators in budget spaces, it has a 102.5% offset, which means it's designed to hang in spaces with low ceilings. So by mounting this at a level position, it should provide really good ceiling to floor coverage, minimizing the level of tilt adjustments that are needed, and helping to preserve image clarity, keeping this really well in focus. And with vertical and horizontal keystone adjustments, including automatic vertical keystone, digital lens shift, 4-point generous corner fit, and of course one of my favorite BenQ adjustment features, the screen fill function, which allows you to lock in at one of these 4 aspect ratios, and then of course fine-tune your adjustments from there. I was able to get the projected image as best as it could to perfectly fit my not so standard size and difficult to hang impact screen, and even giving myself about 30 minutes to mess with the settings and learn what this thing can actually do, I was up and running, and of course found a great excuse to hit some balls at the GSPro driving range. And yes, there were some shanks, because if you didn't know, I've already talked about it 100 times, I'm coming off an injury. So my plan was to use this for a few days, essentially how any other user would after purchasing a projector like this, to get a real sense for just how this projector would perform. So on day 1, I finished my first round that I've played in a few weeks. A few days later, I loaded up the Square Golf app and was happy to see that the screen fill function allowed us to fully fill our screen without having to go into our NVIDIA control panel settings, which makes for such a great user experience. Trust me, you don't want to have to deal with going into your NVIDIA control panel settings. Another great session with the AH30ST today. Very minimal shadows, great focus. Brightness is great too. Got a lot of light in this room today, and I can see it just fine. So I've actually had this up for a couple weeks now, longer than I wanted to before making this review, but I lost my voice, finally getting it back, but I've been on here playing, and I gotta say, it's been a really great experience. First of all, take a look at that picture, and I thought that the 3000 lumens would be a big deal coming from a 4000 lumen projector that I currently use, and I gotta say, if you can control your light in any kind of way, it's still a great experience. I didn't really notice the drop in lumens. And part of that reason is because it still has a pretty good contrast ratio at 20,000 to 1. You're not going to see those deep blacks that you see with a laser projector, but it still stands up to a lot of lamp projectors. And one thing that's really important is that this features BenQ's golf mode. So BenQ has developed this golf mode, which is going to allow for the blues, greens, and khaki colors to pop. And those are all the colors that are typically in a golf simulator setting, and golf simulator projector. And it will really allow these courses to be viewed the way that they were designed to be viewed. Now there's other color modes as well, so you can switch to those if you're planning on using this for a movie theater setup or just for other uses. And as I have mentioned, the 4 LED light source is fantastic because you can get up to 30,000 hours on eco mode. So with the remote here, I can quickly toggle to eco mode, don't blink, because that's all it does to dim down to eco mode. So we can go from eco mode to smart eco mode, actually bring some of that brightness back up, and still conserves some of your LED power. Take it back up to normal mode. So 20,000 or 30,000 hours. And a really important advantage over lamp projectors is that the brightness won't degrade quite as fast as a lamp projector. So whereas lamp projectors, you'll notice the brightness will degrade over time, as well as the colors, and you only get 5,000 or 6,000 hours out of a lamp projector, you're gonna see it retain those colors and brightness, making this a fantastic investment while still being on a budget. So the colors look good, the brightness is great, even in spaces with ambient light. How does it actually play? Well, one thing I really appreciate is the low input lag time, and that's gonna get your shot on the screen quicker than some that aren't optimized for gaming. And of course, that's really important for immersion, and that's why this is a golf simulator projector. Reduced shadows, low latency, true golf colors, all of those things are important for a golf simulator projector. And one thing I gotta say while playing with this projector is it turns on quick and makes almost no noise. You can see just how quietly it runs. And from 6 feet away, you can hardly hear it at all. Now I've run lamp projectors in this simulator, and it is a little annoying getting past the loud fans. You can tell that it's producing a lot of heat, and it really does heat up the room. Well, LEDs are great at keeping things cool, so I use my projector during the summer, all summer long, because I live in a hot state. And it's important for me to not have those fans running too much and not producing so much heat. So LEDs, great option for that as well. Now, speaking of sound, of course it does have a speaker, just a basic 10-watt speaker, nothing insane. I wouldn't be using this necessarily for movies without supplemental sound, but it gets the job done for a golf simulator. The remote's great, and one thing I love about BenQ is its menu navigation. There's a simple menu, an advanced menu, and you can quickly toggle through those. It defaults to simple menu when you first get this, but this one specifically has this quick install button. And as soon as you hit that, it's gonna bring up the important menu options for install. So you can project from front ceiling, you can project from a tabletop, you can actually project from the rear as well as rear ceiling. But if you ever need to make any tune-ups, it's gonna allow you to get to your keystones, your corner fits, your digital shrink and shift, all gonna be right there for you, easily accessible with the remote. But all in all, I've gotta say, I've had a really good experience with this projector. Having this in here for the last couple weeks and kind of just getting back into golf after an injury, I haven't noticed any ill effects from it being only 3,000 lumen projector versus the 4,000 that I'm used to. The colors, the brightness, the contrast still allow me to experience that full immersion. Now this doesn't have the shortest throw ratio out there, but it's still very forgiving in where you can set it up. Personally, I like the manual zoom. It can go up to 1.2 times zoom, and the manual focus. Digital focuses are great, and I've used a lot of projectors that have them, but being able to just get that in the exact perfect spot that I want, for me, that's really important. And I gotta say, this projector has stayed in focus really, really well. From the middle of the screen to the top right, bottom left corner, doesn't matter. Everything stays really well in focus. And that's important because I want to experience true 1080p on the entire screen. And there are a lot of budget projectors out there where you can't actually keep it perfectly in focus and you have to sacrifice some areas of your screen. But the AH30ST has all the adjustments you need to be able to set this up in a very forgiving area for every ceiling application, for even tabletop or tripod applications. You can definitely use this, and it's lightweight and portable enough that if you're someone who uses this outdoors, you can still set it up and tear it down really quickly. So as far as a 1080p projector option goes, I think this one's up there with the rest. I love the LED option with this one. Not having to sacrifice your investment in going lamp, not quite the price of a laser projector. This is perfectly right in the middle, something that you can confidently invest in and know that you can use it for quite some time. So if you're looking for something with a fair budget, that's still a really great investment. This is user-friendly, easy to set up, extremely forgiving, and it still has the power to wow anyone who visits your golf simulator setup. I'm happy to recommend the BenQ AH30ST because here at Unreal Golf, we do everything on a budget, but we still want to do it right. And this is going to give you a great experience while still not having to fork over a ton of money. If you're interested in the AH30ST and you have other questions, feel free to ask below in the comments and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. But you can always check out the links in the description with all the product information. And of course, it can help you stay updated on the release of this new projector. But if you're looking to build a golf simulator or you've already started and you're trying to keep things on a budget, make sure to subscribe to the channel because I'll bring you more reviews, tips, tricks. There's a ton we've already done and there's a ton that's already in the works. So if you're already subscribing, thank you so much. If this is your first time here, thank you for visiting. And I have a lot more in store for you and I can't wait to bring it to you. So have a fantastic rest of your day, hit them straight, and we'll see you next time on Unreal Golf.